Finally, here, the beta version of TCG Live is now up and running for Canada. And what we are going to do is we are going to take you through some of the features and stuff within this game. So we have actually logged in now and did sync up our game to TCG Online. So it did transfer over all of our cards. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that I had a pretty modest collection on TCG Online. While I did play and while I did have a few decks built, I would say that in comparison to some, my collection was rather small. So when we kind of look through some of these pieces, we're going to go through in a little bit of detail some of the credits and how those work. But I did just want to say that I had a pretty small amount on there, so keep that in mind. This is what the home screen looks like. Now, it's got two different views, one for if you're in ranked and one for if you are in casual. The first thing I want to jump into, and I'm going to jump around just a little bit on here, is the profile. To me, this is probably my least favorite part of it. I'm not all about customizing my character too much, but you do see I played around a little bit. You can change the face shape, the eyes, all of that. Hair color, eye color, glasses, hats. I took the hat off, gave myself a hairstyle. There's a few by default different tops that are available to us. There's also some paid for. I can see down the line this being something that they will expand upon. Now, also, when I say pay for, this is something that you can use the coins for. So there's only a few things that you can use the coins for in the game, and the clothes is one of them. So you can exchange coins for cool items for your avatar as well as for your decks. So we'll go into that deck piece in just a little bit. But as you can see, there's some coin-based things that you can buy. So that's really it for the profile. I would recommend anyone who really enjoys customizing their character, enjoy. Pretty cool thing in here is that you also have stats. Now, I was messing around a little bit and I actually crashed out a couple times. So obviously I'm 0-6 and that's perfectly fine. We'll get back to where we need to be long term on this. But I did take a few L's as I was kind of messing around. I timed out a few times. Not making too many excuses. It is what it is. Back to the home page. Also, you see here you can get real quick to the decks and to the battle pass. I'm actually once again going to hop around. I'm going to actually head over to the battle pass. Now, immediately this reminded me of like a Pokemon Unite, where it has kind of a rank based reward system. At rank 1 you get these rewards, 2, 3, and actually it goes all the way to level 70 where you get some pretty cool items that are there. Now, the other thing in here is there is this premium pass, and once again, this kind of reminded me of Pokemon Unite, where you can unlock the premium versions. With the basic, you get the top. With the premium, you get the top and the bottom. And so there's two different ones. So the first one is just the premium rewards. It's 800 of these crystals, and the premium pass plus is 2,000 crystals, and it gives you access to the rewards, but it also immediately unlocks the first 15 tiers. So if you're not going to play through the whole entire thing and you really just want those rewards to get you started, I would recommend just going for it. But if you do plan to kind of get up to level 70 anyways, and you plan to play a bunch of different games on here, like a lot of games on here, then you might as well just go for the regular premium and work your way up. Pretty cool rewards that we do see in here on the ladder currently. We do see individual Mew V cards as well. That's at tier 55. We see a couple other ones down here. You see another few like pants and shirt type items, different packs than you can get. You can get more of the credits, you can get more of the coins. So really a lot, as well as more crystals. So you're actually getting quite a bit of rewards out of this. Now that's going to kind of take us over to the shop. And one of the things that I want to look at is each kind of currency. So it seems like these crystals are really the ones that are like the hard to find. These are like the premium type currency of the game. So the coins, as we saw, you can unlock things such as different clothes, also different sleeves, different coins for your deck. Things that are just a little bit more customizable, but in my opinion, you can get these kind of as you go. I would not spend crystals on these personally. Then you got the crystals themselves. Now you can exchange these for a premium pass as well as for booster packs and bundles. We'll get into that in the shop in just a second. But also, they are earned by completing quests and achieving new tiers in the battle pass as well as leveling up. So you're going to need to level up a little bit before you actually get to the point where you can get that battle pass. So far as I've seen, there's not a way within this game to actually pay to advance into the crystals. So that's really kind of cool. It's not like a pay to play you immediately unlock. You really got to work your way up. And then last but not least is the credits, which you can exchange for individual cards within this. And we're going to go into what exactly that means and how you actually get those throughout. So again, we started out with kind of a small amount, and we actually did crack about exactly 100 packs of brilliant stars in here. So that gave us some additional credits as well as we started to get duplicates of other cards in here, which is really awesome. So that's really it for the different kinds of currency. And then back in the shop, we're going to talk first about the bundles. So kind of hard to see, and I'm going to go into that in just a second as well. But within here, you can actually redeem for the different value packs. So this is, again, if you're after something specific, this is a good way to get those specific items within there. And actually, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to go into the settings. There's one specific setting here that I want to show everyone. So by default, the screen resolution is not going to be in high def. And that's what we're seeing here right now. So by default, I did select the windowed so it pops out as opposed to being the full screen. But the screen resolution you can actually change. You'll see that when I change it to the 1080p, it does help out quite a bit. Like it is a lot clearer and sharper on here. So I would absolutely recommend taking a look at those settings, optimizing it for your own particular self. But for obviously streaming and stuff like that, I would recommend the 1080, which is really going to be pretty sharp and come in pretty clear. So we also have again, a lot of these different packs you're going to see here. You can go through all of them. We got the Urshifus, we got Hoopa, V, we got the Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon, Leafeon, Glaceon, mixes here. You got Crobat sets. So really cool. Also, along the way, you're going to actually have some different cards, and you're actually going to start out with a couple decks that are at least playable till you get yourself running. So I'm very much happy with kind of how they start off. The next thing I want to go into within the shop is to show you the expansions. This is actually a really cool little piece. So number one is you can use those crystals again to buy individual packs. Just like we see here, you can get packs as well as the credits, which is awesome for different varying amounts of these crystals. The other one is this piece here, this gallery. And this goes to exactly show you that I had a very modest collection, right? So this actually shows you the cards that you have within each set already unlocked. So again, I transferred over from TCG Online over to TCG Live, and all of my cards came with it. So we see here all of that they have. Now you can actually pick each individual one. You see celebrations, boom. And then I can go in here and it shows after I've opened all the packs, here are the cards that I had in here. Now, I particularly, myself, I cracked these packs specifically because I really liked the Professor Oak, the Professor's Research cards, and I wanted to make sure that I had myself a good copy or set of those coming in here. So we do have that. Now you can also kind of scroll in. One of the things that I was trying to figure out, so obviously we have the full art Professor's Research, and we'll show you that when we go over to the other cards. There's no way for me to flip over to it right here, so it's a little bit weird on that, that it doesn't show that particular one. But then going into more of a recent one, we can see, again, I cracked 100 packs. And I did find it, again, a little bit odd as I scrolled through here, and we'll see that, down here, this obviously full art Arceus V is blocked out. However, I did actually pull two Arceus Vs. I pulled the like alternate art, and I pulled the just ultra rare. So I found it a little bit odd in there that this one's grayed out, but I do have two different versions of the Arceus V unlocked, and as you see, I do actually have the Arceus VMAX Rainbow. I pulled that one as well, so pretty lucky pulls on those, I would say. But it's a really good, clean, easy way for you to kind of see, did I pull something from an individual set? And really helps out. The other thing here, obviously, this is a redeem option. You can turn on the camera to have that function. You can also enter the codes like you always were able to do. Now, I actually entered, as I mentioned, 100 codes into here. And I can actually show real quick a clip of that while I continue talking. And it took me overall about 20 minutes to put the codes in, but I think the really cool feature here is that once you go to claim them, because there's no trade system within this game, there's really nothing else to do except crack the packs. And so you can crack them right away. I did them 10 at a time. And the other nice thing too is if you want to flip through each individual card and open each individual pack, you can. However, if you want to just save time, you can actually just hit collect all, and it's going to just automatically show you all of the cards that you got during that particular piece. So you don't actually have to sit there and open each individual pack. It's a huge time save. In my opinion, I'm not the kind of person that needs to sit there and look at each individual card. I want to open the packs and ultimately see what I get. It shows you how many credits you get. It shows you how many credits you get for each card, it's able to kind of streamline the process. So pretty cool on the redeeming. The last piece that we'll go into here, switching back to myself, is the decks. So when you first log in, you're given these decks. I was able to get my butt kicked with a few different decks, and specifically, you have like a Zacian Zamazenta V set where you got like two of each. It's really just kind of a basic deck, and a lot of these are, but you can build off of them, which is great. You can customize them, you can edit them, which is awesome, and then you can also go into a new one. Now you can also import that. Haven't played around with that yet, but will. And what we do here is we have our library, as I mentioned, and I'm going to look at the RCSV. We actually pulled the two different copies of Arceus V. We also pulled this one, so we have these available, and obviously this one is not available. So we checked that we wanted to start a new deck. So all you really need to do is pull that over. Now, if I pull a second one of these over, it's going to tell me no, right? So we got to put it back. Then what we need to do is change it to this one, and have that one added. And now it shows the 2, so you got the add button there. Now, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know, which is how much do these cards cost? If I want to just outright buy an Arceus V, how much does it cost? Well, let's answer that right now. If I want to go with one of the non-alternate arts, and I hit exchange, it's going to be 750 credits. Now, if I want to hollow out my deck and I want one of the alternate arts, I exchange it and it's 1250. It is going to be the same for the second alternate art, so 1250 as well. The other thing I'll do here is I will go to, I don't know, let's search one. Let's search one that we don't have. So currently it's set to all cards that I own that are in the standard format. But if I want to just go all cards that are in the standard format, let's try that. And then let's look at Mew. I don't think I have any Mews. So great. Awesome. So I don't have any Mews. So if I wanted like a Mew VMAX, right? And I wanted to build a VMAX deck, I need 4 of these Mews, right? So we're going to, let's look here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exchange 4 for 3,000. So if I want just one of these, it's going to be 750. If I want 4, it's going to be 3,000. So once again, we see that 750 right in there. Now, if we want to go with the alternate art, let's check back here. Let's go to the alternate art. Once again, you're going to see that it's 1250. So that's going to be for our ultra rares, our Vs, our VMAXs. Now, since we have Mew selected, let's just take a look at Mew. If I just want this Celebrations card, this Mew, it's going to be 425. But we also know that there's one of these that we have, obviously different. It's a 2,000 credit card, this gold Mew, which brings me up another point. So we're still on this filter and just playing around with this. I did actually pull this gold Zapdos, I believe. Yeah. So I pulled the gold Zapdos. So it is a 2,000 credit. So the gold ones appear to be a 2,000 credit. And what I want to do and what I will do is I'll actually go through in a couple different guides and kind of talk about the cost and rarity of each one individual card. 425 for a rare. Let's do this. Let's go back to all the stuff that we own. And we're going to remove the filter. So this is just regular Appleton. Regular, everyday Appleton. That's the holographic. How much? Oh, we can't exchange because we already have 4 of them. Great. What about an Aracuda? It's a 40 credit card. So if we go just with a common card, it looks like that's 40. So again, we'll do a better breakdown of all of the costs of each individual rarity of card going forward. But for right now, we see that there is a pretty decent little system here for doing that. So we're able to, kind of make the decks that we want. The other thing that I'll mention in here is if we look We can give it a nickname, test one, rate. That's the name of the deck now. We can also accessorize the deck, as I mentioned before. Here's the coins. Now, these are the other deck boxes. I think the ones that are standard that come with it as well. You'll see that I have, like, obviously, I had a lot of the celebrations. So there's the Elite Trainer box for that. So you can actually see that the ones that you already had from TCGO do transfer over. That's going to be the same thing with the card sleeves, and that's also going to be the same thing with the coins. So all of the stuff that you had does transfer over. There are also some pretty cool coins in here that you get by default. So pretty awesome ones. Love Zoroark. And the Shaman one's pretty cool. The Mew one's pretty cool. But you see, you can actually do with it what you want. The nice thing too is this stuff automatically saves. So obviously, it's going to yell at me when I back out and tell me that I only have 2 cards in my deck and I can't just go into battle with 2 RCSVs. But you do have that available to you. Now it auto saves as well. So you're not going to lose your progress when you go back. It's a really cool feature, and it goes through that during the tutorial, is that it is auto save. Now you'll see I have a few new decks in here, and none of these are completed. These are just me messing around and poking around a little bit. You can also talk about ones that are valid. Like obviously the ones that I haven't completed are not valid. Great, we can see. Also for recent, which is awesome. What are the ones that we played with the most? Favorites, all, and that. So again, you'll see here you do get a bunch of different decks kind of gifted to you to begin your journey with that, which is awesome. I think that this is a really, really cool system. I'm still getting used to the gameplay. You can also add friends in here. I do have a friend request out already to Mike, ATM Shadow, Bridge 4 Games. I can't type, but there we go. And we can send a friend request to Mike. So hopefully he will accept and be my friend. And then from there, I'll also look into doing a little bit more with the friends list and see what happens once I do connect with someone. Now, I know that we should potentially be able to cross-platform, obviously, during the beta. I heard that we were able to, but right now I did send him that friend request earlier, and he did not see it on TCGO. So I'm not sure that that's going to be a thing yet, but what I do plan is to connect up with a couple people that are on TCG Live and see if we can, connect up, play a couple matches, and see what that looks like. So look forward to that in some future videos coming up. But I do want to, just wanted to get into the system a little bit and show everybody what some of the features look like. I think, again, there's a lot of questions about the credits, about what you can do with them, about how easy it is to do. So the last thing that we can do here before we head out is maybe just play a quick match. We are on the ranked ladder, and we got to be ranked pretty terribly. Given our 0-6 record, but we do have Zacian Zamazenta, this deck that was gifted to us. So looks like this shirt is popular, and you can actually change your poses. We are going to flip heads on here, and we will go first. All right, we get a handful of energy. See, one of the big differences here is your cards do stack. So we have 3 energies. It doesn't just show 3 wide. It shows that you have 3 in your stack. It also shows the number there with the cards that my opponent has as well, which is pretty nice. It's kind of nice that we see the mulligan here, even though we would prefer not to, just so that you know what it looks like. On the other end, you're going to have an option as we start with a Crobat. We will have an option to pick a number. That's what it says. Their opponent is picking number. It's going to pick how many cards they want out of that mulligan, which is pretty much always going to be all of them. So we're playing against Suicune here, and we are going to start off here, just ditch our Berserker. Don't really need that in the deck. Let's just take a quick look. So we've got our Zacian, and we're going to drop Zacian. Drop an energy on it, and we are just going to Intrepid Sword. Pop. Absolutely nothing. Great. We've got 2 Research, 2 Marnie in hand. Not ideal. And we're playing against Ice Rider, so not looking great. But we probably need to, like I said, build a better deck. It looks like some of the people that have jumped in to here have put together some pretty good decks that we've run into already. And again, we're playing with a pretty basic deck. So that's where we're going to start out. But again, for purposes, we're just going to kind of click around a little bit. I don't know that that Dialga helps us very much. I think our plan here is going to just be to Marty. They've got 7 cards, and our hand was just so full of supporters, I just didn't want to dump them all. Though now they're all at the bottom of our deck, so it's not great. Oh, that's actually not bad. So we can actually grab another supporter, and more importantly, we can shuffle our deck. So we got Research, Boss, Marnie. Inspect Board. We've already got a Research and Bird Keepers. And so... where am I? Go back. There we go. So I want the Boss. Great. And then once again, we're just going to Intrepid Sword. Just going to drop that right on the Zacian. Grab ourselves a Zamazenta. Now, while we're waiting on our opponent to go, we'll pay a little attention there. But in the graveyard, and kind of what that looks like, we see that we have 4 cards in ours. 1 Pokemon, 3 trainers, 0 energy. Easy to scroll through. We see they have the 6 prizes. And also this little indicator here shows that there's no status effects or increases to our Pokemon. No status effects. They have the V-Star here too. I'm not playing a V-Star as we know, but we see that. So we can take a look in here, get the details of the card. That makes sense. There's the switch out. Great. It's going to be a little rough. We're in okay position because we can Bird Keeper. Sure. Awesome. We are going to Bird Keeper. Boop. Bring our Zacian up. We're going to put our Zamazenta down. I'm going to drop an energy onto the Zamazenta. Don't really need the Dialga or the Meowth at this particular point, so we're not even going to clutter ourselves with it. We're just going to smoke the Calyrex for 3 nice prizes. 1, 2, 3. And Boss, Zamazenta, Oranguru. And our opponent scoops. So we do take the victory there, which is very nice. on that. Now, we also had a Pact of Victory too, because we had the boss in hand. We could have bossed it out and attached, but it did work out. So we see that's just kind of how the gameplay works. We gain 10 points on the ranked ladder, and we level ourselves up. Still waiting here to get enough where that will get us additional crystals, but that'll come. So that's going to do it, I think, just for this brief tutorial about kind of the look and feel of the new Pokemon TCG Live. And for those that joined us, I really appreciate it. If you like the content that we're putting out, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be more videos coming out. Please, in the comments section down below, let me know what it is about TCG Live you're excited about, what it is you want to see in a little bit more detail. And throughout the next week or two, we will take a look and see what we can bring your way and what we can break down for you. But for Bridgeport Games, I'm Tom, and we'll see you guys in the next one.